Hello everybody, thank you so very much for joining me today with my TED Talk entitled Discovering the Beauty in the Mundane. The beauty that we can see really depends on who we are. I could show you guys this picture, and some of you might find it adorable, while others, you might find it rather boring. But I think this is a very precious picture of mine because it just reminds me of all the precious things in life that we sometimes can take for granted of. I was walking around the park one day and I noticed the kids playing soccer, and just from the reactions that I saw, I had to get a couple pictures of them playing. We can come up with many definitions of what beauty means to us, but I believe beauty is quite universal and very unique. I'm a photographer, and I strive to capture and create all that is authentic, that's alive, and that is very universal or unique. Whether it be a picture of a sunset with palm trees in Hawaii, or even a bride waiting to be married to her best friend. The most beautiful things cannot be seen or be touched. They must be felt. I believe that this is true because what we feel is what affects us. I remember when I was a little girl, and I always had a secret obsession with photography for some reason. Every time my family would go on vacation, I would try to be the first person to snag all the photos first, because I wanted to see every single one first. Sometimes when I would be bored at home though, on the weekends from school, I would take my parents' camera and I would just take pictures of everything that you would see, even the walls and the rocks and the leaves, just anything that you think is pointless. I found it unique and I found it special. And so as I've gotten older, I thought about whether or not if I should do photography as my route for a career. I could never imagine myself as doing that for my career, but I just decided just to leave it as a dream and just to grow up and to go into new things for a career. So when I came up to BYU, Idaho, I started in the communications department, and I got to deal with everything you could think of: advertisement, journalism, public relations, TV news. And so I really liked the TV news section, so I decided to be an anchor and a reporter. And it was really fun being in front of the camera, interviewing people, reporting news, but it just wasn't me. I couldn't find who I was through that work. And so I decided, after a couple months of doing the news station, I decided to go for my gut feeling that I had since I was really little and to go back to photography. And so after I decided just to go for that deal, I got a really nice camera, and when that day came, I decided to take 1,000,000 pictures of pretty much everything you could think of outside. So here are a couple pictures that I decided to take that I thought was really unique. When I got home and I uploaded just those couple pictures, I was amazed at how truly I loved the beauty I found in each and every single one of them. I had a realization in that moment that this is exactly what I wanted to do. And I finally saw myself and who I was becoming. And at that moment, I changed my outlook on life and everything that revolved around me. So somehow I was changed. It set me on a journey to capture pictures like this. Like also waking up in the morning to get the glimpse light on the blue color of the water of Mesa Falls. Or even waiting for hours for the storm to pass in Hawaii, just to grab the sunset color for the silhouette of a palm tree. I was constantly on a journey. And so the camera that I owned, it was always inviting me. It was becoming my mentor and my friend. Sometimes I would feel like my camera was dragging me along through the precious moments of life, like if it just didn't want me to skip anything that was going around me. I would hold the camera up to my eye, and I would discover all the beauty that you can imagine just through the little lens of that camera, and it was taking me to the most unexpected places. Like maybe seeing some random guy pogoing down a complex apartment just because he was getting rid of some stress from homework. Or even seeing a lady walking down a street under the hot sun with a ginormous umbrella just to protect her skin. I was constantly going to the most unexpected places. And also even seeing a ladybug from a faraway tree and looking through the wood and noticing the ladybug, just walking up looking for other ladybugs. Like many of the things from a camera that we see, it was all about savoring the precious moments in life. I wanted strong pictures, and I wanted real pictures of people just being who they were and having their self-defense down. I wanted to take them as they were ever real and were coming to life. And so with that camera, it was dragging me around places all the time. So getting involved with my first photography class this year, I was really excited to work super hard and to try my very best just to impress the teachers and all the students that I could do something awesome, because my experience in the past wasn't as good as most kids in that class. So throughout the semester, I went out for hours each week taking pictures of portraits, landscapes, still shots, blur effects, focusing points, and so many more things we learned. And so I thought to myself, I was getting better. But when I would notice people's other work, I was noticing my best was just average. I wasn't standing out, actually. In fact, I felt like I was making mistakes rather than finding the beauty that I was noticing. So one day, I took a picture that I really wanted for a final project, which is this picture right here. And I had someone come up to me, noticing my picture, and complimenting on it. Of course, I was saying thank you and was accepting the compliments, but I was just letting him know that it was good, but it could be way better. And so I really wanted that one picture to stand out for our final projects. And so at that moment, he told me that everyone always wants to do their best, and sometimes people compare with others, but you need to work your own uniqueness in your own picture, because we are the ones to find the beauty in the mundane. And so I looked at my picture again after he spoke to me, and I really thought about it really hard. So sometimes it's the flaw that makes the mistake, that makes the frame. They can be the most beautiful, strong photos that anyone has seen, but the mistake in the photo can make it perfection. And so now I think of that when I take my photos. Like when I take photos of the cowboy's hat right here, I think this is absolutely perfect and what I wanted to capture. When you put a camera up in front of someone, we project. So our goal as photographers is to capture someone at their most vulnerable moment, so there's a connection. For example, this picture is one of my roommates of this semester, and she's also my best friend. And I was telling her just to model and to just be herself. And so she said something super funny and then started laughing her head off. And so I grabbed that moment when she was laughing. And now it's one of her favorite pictures. Another picture is my sister, actually. She was looking at something on the ground, and I decided to grab a picture of it because I love how her face looks in portraits. They are absolutely fantastic. So a good snapshot of anything that is at the most vulnerable moment can always be ran away from anything, but if you capture it at the right moment, it's priceless. As photographers, when we try to take and create good pictures, they have to mean something to us. Back to my story of my framed art. When I got my project hung up on the wall, I had my teacher come up to me actually, and she complimented on it, saying that I did an amazing job and that I really pulled it off really well. And I was very impressed with what she said, because it really meant a lot to me, because at that time I was really doubting myself and that I didn't do a great job. But according to her, I did absolutely fantastic. So, and of course I got the 8+, so that was always a good thing. When I look at the ordinary pictures that I've taken, they become extraordinary, I believe. The mundane becomes magnificent, and with that being said, I look for that in all my photos every single day. And so, along the way, we can find beauty through anything that we do. No matter if it's this kind of stuff with different settings on a camera, or even just having people just being themselves. So now what about you? The pursuit begins with just a few steps. Don't neglect noticing the beauty. Life is too wonderful and too short to not appreciate it. Beauty isn't about perfection, it is more than that. And so I have discovered a light, just a little light, that brings from noticing and appreciating the beauty of what a photo captures. Even when the main focus of capturing that moment can be seen as a mistake or a flaw. So are you willing? Are you willing to forget about perfection? Just for a little spare moment. Because there are gaps and cracks, apertures and openings, and brokenness in every single picture you take. You need to pursue, celebrate, and embrace that, because that's how the light gets in. Thank you.